What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's exports in February fell by 17% compared to the same month last year. New figures from the Finance Ministry show the decline in last month's exports, but they fell less than in January, when exports dropped the most in 13 years. China and Hong Kong remained Taiwan's biggest market, although sales there fell by 30%. Exports to Japan grew by 1%. February imports also declined less than in the previous month. Overall, Taiwan's February trade surplus reached almost $2.4 billion. Taiwan's Interior Ministry predicts that close to 4 million workers will retire in the coming 9 years. That would be the biggest wave of retirements Taiwan's workforce has ever seen. As John Van Trieste reports, it's a symptom of the country's low retirement age and the population crunch that shows no signs of reversing.
Every day, the clerks in this office get a close-up look at how fast Taiwan's population is aging. This is the Bureau of Labor Insurance. Among other duties, they're charged with overseeing Taiwan's pension system. It's a busy place as more and more people reach retirement age, and in the years ahead, it's set to get even busier. The Interior Ministry says almost 3.8 million people will leave the workforce in the coming 9 years. That's around 16% of Taiwan's total population. For government officials, this will come as no surprise. But the question of how to shore up the pension system and public services remains. Taiwan's birth rate is still the world's lowest, and 2022 saw the fewest number of births in the country's history.
劳保基金的水库进水量越来越少，但是出水量越来越多啊，那这就会导致水位会下降，而且是下降的速度越来越快。
The aging population isn't the only reason the workforce is shrinking so quickly. Taiwan's legal retirement age is 65, but the law allows people to retire even earlier if they have worked a certain number of years. Out on the streets, people seem to like things this way.
60到65吧。
55到60左右是差不多的吧。
But even for those who'd like to keep working, there are relatively few opportunities. And the ageism in the workplace is a big issue, despite a 2019 law aimed at tackling it. A health ministry survey found most of what it called older workers have a hard time finding jobs, with more than 70% citing their age as a major obstacle. As a result, Taiwan has one of the region's lowest employment rates for people 65 and over, just under 10% as of the end of January. With ageism widespread, a stagnant birth rate, and a negligible net migration rate to fill in the gaps, Taiwan is facing multiple challenges, and with few solutions in sight. Eason Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Japan's Nikkei newspaper has expressed regret over a story published last week. The report has said that 90% of Taiwan's retired military officers go on to give intelligence to China. In a statement on Tuesday, the Nikkei said it regrets any confusion caused by the report. It said the figure was the opinion of one of its anonymous interviewees and not of the paper itself. Taiwan's foreign ministry has welcomed the clarification. Military-use roads are slowly disappearing on the Taiwanese islands of Kinmen and Matsu. As Espionage reports, the routes could be lost to history if they are not restored.
This road may look like a walking trail, but it was actually built for military vehicles to drive on. Routes like these can be found all over the islands of Kinmen and Matsu. They were laid during the Chinese Civil War. But as Taiwan's military forces on the islands have drawn down, and weather erodes the pavement, the roads are gradually losing their shape and appearance.
所以你可以看得出来，这个车车道的做法呢，只保留2个水泥的2条车道。80年代之后呢，金石案，那军方开始也在据点也在撤退，所以基本上军方也没有能力再去做维护。
Both Kinmen and Matsu lie less than 20 kilometers away from China. That put them on the front line during the Civil War. Once the military fell back, these roads were repurposed as civilian throughways. Only a small portion was kept intact for tourists and military enthusiasts.
近几十年来滨海大道这个车道一直反复的一直在修。整个18.5公里的这个滨海车道来讲其实它都已经修得零零碎碎的，就是五花八门啊，这个真的都不统一了。
Kinmen and Matsu officials wanted to preserve these former battlefields as much as possible. But as the islands developed, they needed more cars for transportation. If the remaining roads are not restored, these islands could lose a significant reminder of their not-too-distant military history. Howard Zhang and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
Prague Zoo in the Czech Republic has welcomed a new addition to their menagerie, a Taiwanese pangolin. Reclining reports.
This is Prague Zoo in the Czech Republic. Last month, it welcomed a new resident, a baby endangered Taiwanese pangolin, the first to be born in Europe.
The baby is still completely dependent on mother. She is suckling her milk. The start of life was very hard for this baby. We have struggled 2 weeks to save her. Thanks to the know-how from the Taipei Zoo, we have managed, and now she is doing very, very well.
The new pup is the offspring of Runhotang and Gorbao, a pangolin pair gifted to Prague by Taiwan's Taipei Zoo last year, and comes as a friendship between the two countries blossoms.
The pangolins are special animals. Now the most heavily trafficked animals, the most poached mammals on the earth. So from this point of view, our pangolins are for us the ambassadors of pangolin world.
In 2019, Prague broke off its sister city status with Beijing after China insisted an updated agreement named Taiwan, a free and democratic country, as part of China's territory. Prague and Taipei then became sister cities. Despite China's protests, the Taiwan-Czech relationship is growing. Prague is emerging as a valuable new ally in the West and a diplomatic success for Taipei against Chinese pressure. Taiwan zoologists also hope that this new pangolin family is the start of a breeding program that could bring these little creatures all over Europe. Leon Lien and Rick Lauert in Prague, Czech Republic for TaiwanPlus.
Pet owners in Taiwan want more green space for their fur babies. Taipei set up its first park especially for dogs in 2006. There are now many more of these parks around the country, but owners often complain they're too far away and not well designed. Irene Wu has the details.
Running on the grass, playing with other dogs, and being able to do so freely. The dog park is a great place for owners to take their pets for some exercise. But many of these parks can be hard to get to, and some don't offer much shade from the daytime heat. They also might have patches of mud that dogs love to jump in, as every dog owner is all too aware of.
狗进去之后惨不忍睹，洗一次要2000多块，这很伤本哦。
The Taiwan Animal Protection Monitor Network says there are 84 dedicated dog parks in Taiwan, most of them in the country's major cities. The capital Taipei has one park for every 6,600 dogs, but in Tainan in the south, there is just one park for every 77,000 dogs, and many smaller cities don't have any parks at all. The animal rights group would like to see more special areas for dogs in regular parks.
中央是不是能够协助制定一个狗公园专区的管理办法？请地方政府建议他们在公园管理自治条例当中加入狗公园专区。
The group says Australia has one dog park for every 2 communities on average, and parks in Japan have more shade for the dogs and their owners. They feel Taiwan can learn from these other countries to create a better place for the furry friends to roam free. Leon Lian and Irene Wu for TaiwanPlus.
Dozens of people gathered in northern Taiwan on Monday to lie next to the country's biggest reclining Buddha statue. The more than 40-meter-long statue is one of the attractions at Liufu Village Amusement Park in Hsinchu County. Monday marks an important date in the Buddhist spiritual calendar. It's said to be the day that Buddha laid down and attained nirvana. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Today we leave you with images from the freestyle kite surfing competition in Colombia. I'm Yvonne Yang. Take care and see you next time.